So, I do these things all wrong when it comes to social media. I was one of the first bloggers back in 2000. Was it 2000? Had a friend. He gave me my domain qualam.com for my birthday, and I was like, oh, cool. I write, so I'll just transfer my writing onto the World Wide Web, and I didn't think anything of it. I literally, at the time, it was literally oh, cool, I can reference this journal entry from the web, from anywhere. And I didn't think of, oh, yeah, I'm going to post this so that everyone else can read. That was never the intention. It was a journal log, and it was actually called blogging. So I did that for, 2-3 years? And then I think my life imploded at one point, and so that kind of fell apart. But in that time, I had friends that were reading the content, and it's like, dude, there's some good stuff here. And at that time I was drinking the Kool-Aid of gratitude and God and spirituality, and walking that path of in that space between pain and suffering. I get to show up and fill that space with compassion, love, mercy, patience, tolerance. Today's posting, I can't do a live thing on YouTube because I'm only worthy of 10 seconds. So I'm doing this all wrong. I know. Look, even with that. Old, no makeup, tired. I just got done crying for like 20 to 30 minutes. And I've just spent the day, it's been months of me fighting scammers who started probably sending phishing emails that I didn't realize. So I'm reviewing all my emails now. And in retrospect, my gas bill, that came out with a few phishing emails. Didn't get that. I think one electric bill. I don't think it was the electric bill, but there was another utility bill that came out. I was like, dag nabbit. My Xfinity bill, that came out with some phishing emails as well. And then one credit card, Best Buy, that had a phishing email. So I guess what happens when a person gets access to your email account, they can take the same email from the company and then they'll insert their own links. Or they'll create a website that emulates the one that you're on. So you'll go to that site and like, oh, that looks weird, looks updated. But if they're pros, they'll do it professionally enough to where it looks really, really good and actually looks like they've upgraded the site, so they're making life easier for you. So buyer beware. When you go to these sites, number one, look at the email. I forgot what that guy's name is, the IT guy, but he teaches you to look for the 3 features to verify an email address is legit. The DKIM, the S something or other, and then the DMARC. Those 3 things to verify that the domain is correct, the email formatting is correct, and then there are a whole bunch of other things you want to look for that match up to cross-reference each other. And I usually do that, but in the past few months I haven't been very good about that, and I've let a few emails slide, and unfortunately I didn't realize, like my gas bill, there was one from 2022 from yada blah 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 blah, and I fell for it. So they were already gathering information about checking account, stuff about me that they obviously did not have enough to log in and capture and collect that information. Now, in the past few months, I have a feeling my Xfinity internet and mobile bill, those 2, if it truly is going to Xfinity, I think they're serving as liaisons, so like the go-between. So they will charge me $105 when the bill actually is $85. So they're making like $25, $30 off me. So they'll pay the bill. So it's kind of weird, but there's a slice of the pie. So that sucks, and I haven't been very good at advocating for that. And actually, I tried negotiating, and those people were like, no, we don't play like that anymore. Either you actually want our business, or we can close your account, which I should have known from their retention people, their job is not to do that. So, I'm so stupid. How much money have I given away? And then my Best Buy credit card. I've been paying $950 a month because I bought a solar generator. And that was a pretty penny. So, and I knew, and then Best Buy was trying to give me these perks, like, hey, if you buy this, we're gonna keep taking the interest off any amount that you have, which makes 0 sense. So lo and behold, I get a physical bill from Best Buy, and I owe interest every single month. And what I think I would have paid off by now, which is like $5,000-$6,000, I owe $5,000-$6,000. Yikes! And I've been too depressed, too dysregulated to act on that. I get overwhelmed really easily. Depression is a new friend for me. Depression is terrifying because for someone who has worked in mental health for decades, who understands the nuance of holding space for another person, who understands, holy crap, the whole process of beginning, middle, and end, and then when a person's in the middle of it, it just seems like it's unending until there's an end. And unfortunately, without mental health support, without a supportive, a set of people around you that's supportive, I don't have those. I've tried with a mental health professional, I haven't made as good of an effort, but each time I've run into barriers that have made me feel unsafe. And then when it comes to finding my tribe, I just literally have not found my tribe where I can be authentically me and unapologetically me and feel okay with sharing, the things like, I don't feel good about this. And does anyone else feel this way? And so that hasn't happened for quite a while. It's been 1.5 years, 2 years now of not having a tribe to call my own and pulling it off like a muggle. That's scary and it's terrifying, and the maladaptive coping skills are no fun. And my family has a history of mental health unwellness as well, and all that triggers between 44 and 50 years of age. Not just that, my eyes, because of Asian eyes, the retina kind of sits further up top because we have like more egg-like eyes. So the retina can drape, they can fall down a lot faster. So my mom had macular degeneration, retinal detachment, cataract, and glaucoma. And she was blind in one eye. And not thankfully, but she got cancer within that year. And as a result, she didn't have to suffer with the blindness because she was a very, very independent woman. And I remember those occasions where, she was the only person. Their kids were living our life and she was still taking care of dad, and I would just see her walk and she would just walk into something and further hurt her eye, and she would just get really, really frustrated that she couldn't see and couldn't live independently. So that was really hard. So that's kind of me. I'm aging. I'm fighting what it means to be gay and kind of impotent. I'm fighting what it means to be a victim of phishing and malware and not knowing who to turn to. I've poured hours and hours into YouTube and learning just enough to be able to identify the problem, but not knowing enough coding or enough HTML stuff and software, this and that, and making little changes. There are so many nuances to be able to intervene, remove, extricate all the software that's embedded, not just blatantly put on my MacBook right now. There's Kerberos or whatever. There's an app down there that does not belong there. It's very clear and obvious. And then there's other stuff like on my phone. It just embedded. There's little pieces of software embedded into apps that I use and I like, and I've taken those apps off, and pieces of the app's still in there, and I'm like, no, permanently eliminate, and it won't. And I have enough experience in the past 7 months of observing these patterns and trends to know, to be able to cite and go, that's not normal. But I don't have enough smarts to get over the bridge onto the other side. And that's frustrating because the IT companies I've reached out to, they work with companies, they don't work with individuals. So it's like, no, sir, if you have a commercial company, then we're happy to work with you. But if you don't, then it's going to be, quite a bit of a barrier and a challenge. Like, oh, poo. So, but fast forward to now, I'm at a place where all my equipment is broken. I've never not filed my taxes. And it's now pushing mid-May, and I haven't filed my taxes because I don't feel safe logging in. All my apps are off my phone. I've wanted to reach out to a couple of the YouTubers that do this hack stuff, and I guess they took examples, and for me to go, hey, I got a doozy for you, multiple pieces of equipment with embedded software, blatant in your face, as well as within the system folders and all the hidden folders, and phishing emails, and emulated websites and apps. What on earth, right? I get the whole, not even trifecta. It's like the 4 or 5 collective thing to collapse this kiddo. And I'm a nerd. I'm a bit of a smart IT nerd. I like pouring into these things. I like the challenge, but when one has depression and, when one's feeling that, you don't realize how it manifests. And this is what it looks like. This is not a good look for me. This is not a consistent look for me. And unfortunately, these are the days that I have where I am crying more. I am happy. So I have happy moments and okay moments. And I have really, really sad days where I can't find the words. I feel so irrelevant. I have a head full of knowledge, wisdom, lived experience, and I serve as more or less a life coach for people with disabilities and helping them navigate from not having independence to living more independently. And I have clients that are successful, so I'm doing something right. And I can't seem to wrap my head around how to navigate mine. I can't seem to find that support group that's around mine, but instead I get the opposite. Broken mental health, aging body, really, really conservative, yucky community around me, literally local in my neighborhood and otherwise. And I don't know how to navigate that. Like right now, this whole time I'm talking, it's dead quiet. Not one fucking car has passed by. So I wish I could say, coincidence. 6-7 months to a year of making these observations. It's not a coincidence. There's shit going down, and not one person, not one courageous person. So they choose to be an accomplice to watching the dysregulation and torture of an individual, breaking the law in torturing and harming an individual to gain what they want, the behavioral change that they want from a person. And not one person has come to the front and say, hey, let's talk, and how can I help? Because there's shit going down. You're not supposed to know, but I'm going to let you in on the secret anyway. I know, these are not the most appealing and supportive and inspirational chats, but I think for me, I feel like this is more like end of life, kind of the remains of a chapter, the last few pages of a chapter of someone who has become so dysregulated that living is carrying on, being resilient, fighting the good old fight, matching whatever negativity with the exact opposite. Have all that experience, but do it alone and ganged up by a bunch of religious fanatic, cult-hating people who think they know better and may have letters after their name and try to do the whole DSM because they think the intellectual path, hypothesizing this, can help the person, and then it backfires like, oh shit, we've done irreparable harm to this person, to where now, even if whatever behavior you want from him stops, the desire, the circuit breaker, or whatever coping skill is now missing, and all that's left for this individual is not wanting to deal with life because there are no tools left. I call that an utter failure. That would be a thesis submitted that would be a fail and a redo for the graduate. It would be for anyone else that is just a layperson. If I could point fingers and no names, they would actually be in cuffs, and I would say, yeah, prosecute the heck out of them. It's not just they broke the law. They didn't just trespass. It's inhumane. What's that card game? What against humanity? Whatever that is, it's horrific, and it has raised to that level, and it's no fun. I'm already unwell, and I do pretty well coping unwell. I'm really, really stubborn, and I have some major tolerances for pain, and these people have broken through. They have broken the vessel. It's interesting. Anywho, well, there's another post under the belt. I don't think the first one ever posted, though. Whatever. Anyway, I usually say I hope in a year from now that I get to watch this and be able to offer some perspective and gratitude for having made it through 365 days, around the sun, and get to hopefully be in a better place, or not in a better place, but hopefully with a little wiser. I'm not even going to try to say it this time.